good evening, Eagle fans, and welcome out to Buffalo Wild Wings for another Sunday night talking a little bit of softball, a little bit of baseball. We're around the diamond with Turney and Marks. See how easy that Turney flows off of it there after the first week?
I like the sound of it.
That's right, and I remembered it too. I was last time I was just so out of sorts. Then here with Coach Brad Turney talking a little bit of softball. We're going to look at last week. We'll look at next week. We'll look at where they're sitting in the power rankings and his thoughts, and we'll jump right into that, as well as our player of the week that we'll talk about also. But Coach, got that bad stretch out of the way. You guys played some solid teams and had a rough go of it.
We did. Like we talked about last week, I wasn't real excited and real happy about how we showed up against those big schools that weekend before. But we came out and we started against Tioga, who's a 4A as well.
Yep.
And other than a slow start in the first inning in that game, I think we played a very good game against a very good team. I mean, you take the first inning away from it, we win that ball game 2-1. But
right.
Unfortunately, we know it's all you got to play all 7 innings. And like I said, we had that slow start in that one, and but we turned around, and I was happy with how they responded after that poor weekend before.
Look, and we've just seen that, and you look at them, they Oakdale and Monterey that week, 2 teams with winning records on there. They came out and good pitching and big hitting. And that's been your secret to it all year long. You get good results out of the circle. It equates to some bats going off again, and y'all are still killing the ball.
It really does. I mean, we had the Oakdale game and the Monterey game where we went right. Double digits in the hit column again. I mean, that's something to be proud of, and I think we've done that 9 out of 14 games this year. So I mean, the hitting is definitely there. But like you said, when we're strong in the circle and we're playing good defense behind her, we're in a good spot. And this week we actually we had a little facelift. We switched around some defense, and it seems to flow and gel a little bit better. I got people back to where they were comfortable, maybe not necessarily where I felt like they were projected to play. So I think we're back in a good spot.
But isn't that what I mean, anybody can go out there and manage, all right? Mm-hmm. But coaching and having to do this at that level, I mean, you've got to have you've got to have coaches that are able to go out there and notice that, mm-hmm. but you've got to have players that'll look at it and go, okay, this is my role now, let's go. And
they do. I mean, every one of them that I switched around, they've took it and run with it, and I feel because maybe it's a little bit something different, maybe they got to think of it a little different.
Right.
They're actually playing a little bit better. So, I mean, it seems to have worked out so far, and that's the beauty of these girls is no matter what I throw at them, they're up to the challenge, and they accept it, and they run with it.
Look, and we've talked about it, such a good group. They were here early. They were the first ones here, and they sit at that table together, and just the companionship that they have. We notice that G's not here. Normally she's here early, but she's ailing a little bit.
She's ailing a little bit. She was having some back issues. She started the game against Monterey. We were trying to get Kaylee a little bit of rest.
Right.
But unfortunately, she was having some back issues, and she came out after the second inning of that game, and she toughed it out and finished playing shortstop for me. But Kaylee came into a heck of a game after that. But, yeah, she's also doing some work with a Little League team with Sawyer Shelton and Sawyer Shelton's dad. So I know they were practicing today, so she may be wore out. Them little kids will run you ragged.
Then you have the night off. We'll do that.
Yes.
Look, that segment with Sawyer as our player of the game last week was just really good. We got that posted and got a number of views on that tonight. So don't forget, we will have our BU Designs player of the week in this one tonight. And I think as good of a week as it was, that was kind of a no-brainer in the
Well, I don't know. I mean, you look at the numbers of our player of the week this week, and it was still a tough decision. There was a couple other ones behind them that did really well. I'll have one of them up next segment. But no, it wasn't an easy decision. But
isn't that what you like when that doesn't stand out, though?
I do. When they make it difficult to pick a player of the week or a player of the game and things like that, you're in a good position as a coach because they're doing things right.
Look, they love. I see after these road games that we're unable to go to, they've got that lineup card, and they're the POG. They're the player of the game, yeah. The POG. That's right. They love that, and they've got their home run softballs, and they've got that. Man, it's just built an excitement there.
It really has. I mean, it's something we did with baseball last year. I've been doing it for a couple of years because I make them dugout cards. We gave it to the winning pitcher last year, and I was kind of thinking about it. Well, in softball, it's a little bit different.
She gonna
got
have a big
one,
stack
maybe
of
two
them.
pitchers.
Yeah,
you're
that's
gonna
right.
have one person that's going to have a stack of them. So I figured let's do a player of the game type thing. And I didn't know how they'd react to it, but they seem to have jumped onto it, and they love it. They love it. So they come out there, and they when the card comes out, they throw the drum roll. They do the whole nine.
Look, and again, that's just part of that bond that they have. You guys have moved up to number 11 in the power rankings, and of course, there's a lot of softball to go still. You're getting into district play. You've got that game with the Voiles Tuesday night, and then just have a huge one against Kinder, who's sitting at 11-1 on the season and is solid year in and year out.
Yeah, 100%. That's a good club we're going to be running into Thursday, so we got to be firing on all cylinders. So I mean, definitely don't want to look past the Voiles, but
correct.
Kinder's that tough one. We've got to work hard for this week.
What do you tell them when they're, because kids have access to everything on their phones and all that, to not sit there and look at rankings and know that, hey, that's going to work itself out?
It really is, and I try to keep them away from it. It's kind of like looking at I don't really have any of them, but you have stat rats out there.
Right,
and
that's
them,
correct.
like, if we do things
stat
correctly,
rats is a great. That's so good.
If you do things correctly, if you're looking for the right things in the batter's box and you're trying to hit the ball hard, you're looking for backspin, you're doing things like that, at the end of the year, everything will work out. If you're meant to be a 400 hitter, you're going to be a 400 hitter. If you're meant to be that role player that you've got 15 sacrifices on the year, you're going to have 15 sacrifices
That's right.
on the year. It's all going to work. We can't worry about those mundane things that aren't important as far as gameplay goes.
Look, and again, it's take care of it itself. We're going to go ahead and take our first break, because I want to get in the segment where we're talking to these young ladies about that, and we're able to move forward with it too. Let's go to break. When we come back, we'll jump right into our interviews. We'll do all of that. You're watching Around the Diamond with Turney and Marks on 446 Sports.
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier, transactions are getting safer, and you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to, made easier to use, anywhere, anytime, and more secure than ever. Simple, seamless, safe. Download our mobile app today.
In Central Louisiana, you might see me at the ballparks or soccer fields, or we might cross paths at the grocery store. I'm your local Farm Bureau insurance agent, your local expert when it comes to protecting what you love and depend on. I'm Jason Hawk. Learn more about how Farm Bureau insurance can save you time and money. So talk to Hawk at 318-791-HAWK and let me help you protect your biggest investments. Real service, real people. Farm Bureau Insurance.
At Wallace Eye Associates, right now is the best time to have your cataracts removed. A new year means a new deductible, so if you're just not seeing as well as you used to, schedule your cataract evaluation today. It's fully covered by all medical insurances, including Medicare. You never need a referral at Wallace Eye Associates, and our method of next-generation cataract care is the most affordable in the state. There's only one team, one focus, your vision. Wallace Eye Associates.
And we're back, Buffalo Wild Wings on a Sunday night. See, I told you you'd be able to hear me in just a minute.
I can.
Go ahead and introduce yourselves for us.
My name's Abby Pingleton. I'm a sophomore.
My name's Kinsey Lyles. I'm in 8th grade.
There we go. And we were able to talk to Kinsey after, I think, the Grant game. You
Yes,
had
sir.
homered in that one, too.
Yes, sir.
Hit one of them. I mean, it was a tremendous shot. It's in the 8th grader, right?
Yes, sir.
5 home runs on the season?
I think so.
You think, no, you know, don't you? You know what it is. Tell me, what's the secret to it?
I just get up and watch the ball and swing the bat. I don't know.
I don't see how there's any, I don't see how, Coach, is that what you're teaching them? Just see the ball and swing the bat. Look, you ladies have been working hitting since back in August. Is that one of the things Coach Turney brought to you?
Yes, sir. He did.
What's been the difference in that?
I guess just more hitting, so we know what it's like to be hitting the ball.
Look, that's right up his alley too, and it's been successful with. It's been successful. It seems like they're at one point more home runs than you have games played. Everybody seems to hit the ball out of the park. Is that you got a lot of great hitters?
Mm-hmm. He did.
Yeah, that's great. Tell me what it is now. You've got a couple of great seniors on there. You've got middle like you guys are, and then some younger players. How's the dynamic of the team with the younger players, the older players? I'm going to ask you yes and no questions is all I'm going to ask you from here on out.
Okay.
What's your favorite food here?
Here?
Yes.
Probably their boneless wings.
There you go. See? There you go. See how easy that was? What position do you play?
Right field.
Right field. And those games that you've been playing now, you went through that stretch that was a tough one. Y'all had lost, I guess it was 4 in a row. How did that fuel you into going back in that Monterey game and in the games of getting ready for the future?
It just made us want to push harder and play for each other.
How do you think that strengthens you as you go in? Because you got a lot of good games coming up.
Like if playing for each other makes you play like better, I don't know.
Look, you talk so soft, but hit that ball so hard. That's just when you get inside. When does the switch flip for you? When do you turn into that person that's just out there killing the ball?
When the game starts.
As soon as you're right as you This is good. Okay. What is this?
Lemonade?
No, see, not even that one. It's Mountain Dew. But at least we're getting there on there. What's been a couple of good memories this season that you've had?
Probably like after the games when we win, we listen to the music and the bus ride homes for sure. They're a blast.
So the Grant game that we did when you guys were on the road over there and you had to turn the music down so we could do the post-game interviews. Y'all fire the music up quick, don't you?
We did.
Yes, sir.
As soon as we won.
Is there a song that is, okay, the game's over, we've won?
Yes. What You Know About Me, Glorilla, Feet Sexy Red.
I'm not familiar with that. How does it go? A little bit of that for us.
What You Know About Me, Big G-L-O-N-I-G-L-E.
Now I know how to direct my questions on here. This is great. So after that one, what's the go-to song that's not that one, but on the way home? What's everybody singing the loudest to?
Probably
That?
yeah.
Y'all just play that over and over?
No, we have a whole playlist, but it's usually Glorilla, the artist. That's what we listen to.
Do that again. What you sang?
Sing it?
Yeah.
Oh, What You Know About Me, Big G-L-O-N-I-G-L-E.
Look, if you're wondering what's going to be clipped up and posted tonight, put it to rest. That's what's going to be there. Look, we talked to Coach Turney about it too. You young ladies you bond so well. I mean, y'all are here before anybody is here. You're at that table doing things the same way. What's been the coolest thing about playing with this group?
The confidence of everyone and the players.
All right, I got to dig deeper than that. What's your favorite Coach Turney story already? Pretend he's not listening. He might have got mad one time. He might have got, I don't know. That's what we want to figure out. There's got to be something.
So basically we have rats in
You have
our
what?
locker. We have rats in our
Rats?
yeah, in our locker room. And I was like, Coach Brad, when are you gonna bring the mouse traps? And he like got mad at me and was like, I'm not worried about that right now and all that.
And here all along, I thought that was because the Pog, I guess, is a player of the game. And so I thought rats was something. I was ready for a story, but you mean
No, the animals,
little rodents.
the little rodents.
Huh. Okay. How about you? Besides the rat story?
Probably he's like funny and like
I get that. Indeed, he is. And look, I'm going to ask him his favorite stories about you guys as well on there. So looking forward to a big week this week. You've got your second game at home, I guess, in a long time. You had the home opener a couple of weeks ago, but does it feel getting back home now, playing in front of your own fans?
Feels good.
Yeah,
We're going to win.
That's right. You got a big week, too. You got Kinder. No, you don't want to overlook Avoyelles at all, but you got a big one on the road, too, a district game against Kinder. And that's going to be a tough one. What's the mindset?
I guess have a good attitude, keep the energy up, and play like we should and how we know to.
Look, that's what I'm talking about. And do you have now on the road? See, a lot of times, like LSU years back had the rally possum. Do you remember that? Y'all might be too young for that. Never mind. Anyway, do you take one of your friends that's in your clubhouse with you, one of the rats? Put it in a cage and bring it with you?
Yes.
On the road? Yeah, I think you should.
So if they do that, we just give them the little
Give them
rat.
that. There you go. We're getting this figured out now. GL, right? Is it? See, I mean,
Yes,
I'm
sir.
going to hear that. I will go home and listen to it now because I've not heard that. And now, if you hear me singing it on the game Tuesday night, then you'll know that we're there. Ladies, thank y'all so much. It's a great season going on. Looking forward to another big one. Take us to the break singing it, both of you there.
What you know about me?
We'll be right back. Don't stop now. Take it home on 446 Sports. We'll be right back.
Check out some of our recent work at the Panthers Stadium. In addition to custom signs and banners, we also handle custom trophies, custom awards, custom vehicle wraps, and more. Give us a call. We handle projects large and small.
Wherever you are, you're there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks right from your phone, day or night, wherever you are or whatever you're doing. Download our mobile app today.
Are home problems turning your life upside down? Trust Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing to save the day. From keeping you comfortable to plumbing repairs and even generators, we do it all. Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, your one-stop solution for AC, plumbing, and generators. If you need us to save the day for you, call Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing or visit us online at southernairnow.com.
And we are back to Buffalo Wild Wings on a Sunday evening, and again, that was probably going to be the most clipped up segment.
Oh my goodness.
Now, when they were walking off, Coach, they told me, they said, if you'll ask Coach Turney to sing it, he'll sing it too. So do you?
I don't know that song. That's
You hear it on the bus for an hour.
I do, but it's noise to me. They're enjoying themselves, and that's what I
Tuned it
said.
out.
Yeah, I've tuned it out. Thankfully, we haven't had them long road trips like that yet, because, like I said, as soon as we get on the bus after a win, it is like that from the time we get on the bus until the time we pull back into Menard. It's a sight to behold. Trust me.
Kate Perotti joins us here. Fantastic season, great week that you had. Before we get into all the statistics and all of those things, I have to ask a bit, the bus ride home. I mean, that seems to be the dominant thing. How much fun is that?
It's a lot of fun. I look forward to it after games.
Well, that's good stuff. You look forward to evidently during the games as well, because Coach, tell me a little bit about the week she had.
She had a good week this week. She after the weekend that we had previously, I think a lot of them come in and like, Coach, I'm not hitting well, yada yada yada. So I told her, I was like, well, just get back to swinging the bat and stop worrying about the things that don't matter. And she finally got back in there and got back to herself. I think she was in a little bit of a lull because she broke her favorite bat that she's had for a few years.
Oh no!
So I think she was in mourning for that one for a little while, but I think she's getting comfortable with her new bat.
Look, you stirred up some feelings there too. Tell us about that. What about the bat?
Third game of the season, I was warming up and my bat just didn't sound right, and there was a crack down the middle of it. And then the next day we went to practice and I cracked it in half, and I'd had another bat that I'd been using. The next day of practice, broke that bat, and we had to get another one. So
how long have you been using that bat?
Since 7th grade.
Since 7th grade, and you are
a freshman.
A freshman now. Okay, so a couple of years, but I guess that's a lot of time to have it. So what are you swinging now?
A DeMarini.
A DeMarini, all right. And so that one's not cracked. That one's good to go.
That one's good.
What was
for now?
She's finally getting the hang of that new DeMarini. She's starting to hit the ball really well. I mean,
what was the difference this week?
I think I just have finally gotten back into just getting used to just focusing on just hitting the ball, not worrying about where my hands are going to be, where my shoulders are going to be, what I'm doing, my timing, just getting up there and just focusing on the ball and the bat.
But Coach, that's been the number one rule. The time to think is in the on deck circle or in practice. When you get in the box, it's time to just do what you've known.
Yeah, it's just react. It's time to dumb it down when you get in the batter's box in the game. It's like, oh, there it is, hit it. I mean, you have your approach you going into the game, but if you're thinking about mechanics or anything like that, you're going to mess up your at bat. We worry about that.
The ball's behind you at that point.
The ball's behind you at that point. All you got to think about is, all right, let's just get ourselves loaded, get ourselves in a good position, and then fire. When you see the pitch that you want, fire. That's all it is.
Okay. What do you take out of that four-game stretch that you had that makes you stronger and gets you ready to go towards the tail end of the season?
I think just keeping the same mindset that I've had the last couple of games and bringing that into the next couple of games in the next half of the season.
What's been one of your, as we're in the first half of it or getting close to the middle half of it, what is one of your favorite moments out of the first part of the season?
Probably, I don't know. The bus rides have been pretty fun. I mean, I can't
get
lie.
past the bus ride part of it, too. That's been a lot of fun.
Yeah. Or just at practice, it's just so much fun hitting on the field and fielding balls in the outfield.
What do you think has been a couple of things that you've gotten better at this year that you said at the first of the season, I want to improve here? What is that?
Probably throwing down at first and third,
right.
Bat picking at runners.
Is there a lot of opportunities for you you've had to grow with that?
Yes, I think there's the same amount of opportunities. I've been just taking advantage of them more this year.
Coach, we'll ask you the same thing. What do you see?
That's one of the big things that she's really done well this year is I think early on she'd hesitate. She's got a good arm, and I told her, I was like, look, you get one of them up outside pitches that's up and away that's carrying you that way, go ahead and back pick. Go ahead and get used to throwing that way. Once you get used to throwing that way, then you can make better decisions on when it's time, when it's not time. Because we had some times where she's looking at me and she's going back picking and she was throwing, and they had runners on first and second, and they'd deke us, and we'd back pick at first, and they'd take second and third.
Right.
Okay, that's something that we learn as we go on. Keep throwing it right now. If we keep doing it, now you can pump fake, deke a runner, and now you got somebody picked off here. It's little things that you learn. And she's done a great job with that this year.
Well, look, but that's the only way that you get that experience in it too, is to go out and experience those things.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things that's helped her is she's had that freedom of failure. I told her, throw.
Right.
If you throw a couple away, you know where adjustments are going to be made. But I think she's got that fear of failure out of the way because there's freedom to fail, because when you fail, you're obviously going to learn something.
Right. Look, that's just the wisdom is there. What do you see in the second half? You know what? I've got this to fix. If I'm Kate Parati, this is what I want to work on towards the tail end of the year.
Probably just making smarter decisions at bats and taking advantages of the pitches that the pitcher has missed, and taking swinging at the ones that are strikes, and letting the ones go that are balls and just having better at-bats.
Very good. Well, congratulations. You are this week's BU Designs Player of the Week. So tremendous work there. Awesome job. And as we go out and go to break, Coach, we're getting close to our last segment on there. We've already got one. I need the ride home. Let's hear your version of the song. Can you sing it?
Maybe not.
Maybe not. All right. Y'all got our limitations. There you have it. Look, I can assure you, I'm not ever going to do it either.
Okay.
So we're safe there. We'll be back in just a minute. We're going to wrap it up with our final segment. It's coming up right after this, Around the Diamond with Turney and Marks, when we come back.
Firehouse Subs just partnered with Hot Ones to create 2 new hook and ladder subs.
One with pickles marinated in Last Dab Reaper sauce to test yourself.
And a milder one with crispy garlic chips if tests aren't really your thing.
Find out how hot you like it for a limited time at Firehouse Subs.
Central Louisiana. This is your home for live sports action. From the field to the court, 446 Sports delivers the games you love with expert commentary and passionate coverage. Cheer for your favorite athletes and relive the moments that define our community spirit. Our sponsors keep us in the game. Together, we bring you the best in local sports coverage. Join the 446 Sports family today. Watch, cheer, celebrate. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on social media. .446 Sports, where Central Louisiana comes to play.
We're back, Buffalo Wild Wings, on a Sunday night. Baseball is on deck. Never seen them so eager to get out here when there's a Blazing Wing Challenge coming. Who knew that he was that excited to come eat hot wings again?
He's ready for it. He's ready.
Look, Coach, last question of the night for you, too. You've been with baseball the last few years, softball this year. What's been the biggest difference?
I think the difference just the back between how they approach the game versus how boys approach the game. This is completely different. It took a lot of getting used to, but these girls are fun to be around. I promise you that.
Look, there's no doubt about it. Every time we see it, it's just from one to the other. Guys, that's going to wrap up our softball segment of it. Coach, looking forward to being back home at the Eagles' Nest. That game is at 5 o'clock on Tuesday. You take on Avoyles, and I encourage everybody to come out and go back and watch the game later. And then Thursday, make the trip down to Kinder to see what's going to be a premier matchup on there, too. So make sure they do it. Closing thoughts for us?
I'm just excited to get out this week to see the girls play against. Like I said, we're in district. I told them it didn't matter the first part of the season. We start 0-0 again. So right now we're 1-0, and that's what matters. So I'm looking to be 3-0 at the end of the week.
There you go. We'll go to a quick break and get ready for baseball. As we do, Coach, The song, sing us and take us out.
I'm not doing that.
Still not doing it.
Hey, you
As
can
much
just
as I
come up
try-
here and do it real
Yeah,
quick.
so one last time. I need it right here.
Come
Before
on,
we go,
Abby.
because Coach is still not going to do it.
I don't know it, I promise.
Oh, okay. One of these days he's going to. And then we'll have Coach Marks do it as well. Take us out. Look right
All right,
there.
Abby, get after it.
What you know about me, big G-L-O in that G-L-E.
Guys, we'll be back with baseball right after this.
And welcome back to Round the Diamond here at Buffalo Wild Wings. Now the second half. Coach Jordan Marks joins me now. I'm Nick Magnano, the other short guy from 446 Sports. And we will not be singing for the record. For the record, we will not be singing unless we can get the guys. You think we can get the guys to sing?
I don't know. It's going to be tough.
I will do that. Maybe we need to get a dance contest between Lane and their best dancer. That's what I'm talking about. You know, Doug talks about this Hot Wings challenge. Let's get a dance contest going.
That's right.
Well, Coach, let's talk about last week. Very good week. Started district, and, man, everything went well.
Absolutely it did. We started off with Oakdale at their place, and, you know, last year that was a pretty tough game for us. And I knew Oakdale was young last year, and they were going to be a little better this year. And we went over there and gave the ball to Procell on the mound, and he went out and gave us 6 quality innings, and we – you know, strung a couple of hits together and this and that. I don't know what the total hit line on that was, maybe 11, 12 hits we strung together, and, you know, got out of there with a win 9-1. So I was very proud of them, especially at Oakdale. That's not an easy place to play.
Right.
And then, you know, Vols, that was an interesting game.
I like the way you took a deep breath.
Yeah, because I can say a lot about that game.
There was a lot of those during that game. There was a lot of deep breaths.
I could say a lot about that game. But one thing is, you know, everybody knows we gave up 6 runs in the first, and in a baseball game, that's really tough to come back from. And so credit to the guys. And then also, here's the thing that I kind of pointed out to people. I said with an older group, you start pressing, you start trying to do too much, you start popping the ball up, you start having these big long swings, and you know, we've seen it in baseball around the area, guys, teams who are supposed to really beat other teams, they don't, because they get too big and they start popping balls up and playing out of character and this and that. But these guys stayed to their approach, hit backside, and at a Vols, with the Vols, they play their outfield on the fence. I don't know if you realize that. Yeah, I think y'all said that on the broadcast, and they do that every year. And so it makes you get on top of the ball and hit, you know, one-hoppers and low liners, because if the ball gets in the air at all, they're catching it, you know.
Yeah, because on the broadcast, the wind was blowing out, and I'm like, Danny, I'm ready to have a home run call here. And of course, I'm glad he didn't listen to me. You know, they were driving the ball because, like you said, they were playing very deep.
That's right, and it's easier as an outfielder to run up for the ball than it is to run back, obviously. So they do that against us every year, and so I was prepared for it. The guys were prepared for it, and you know, each inning I said, hey, let's just win the inning. Let's scratch one. Let's scratch two. And let's not just try to get six runs in one swing. And so it's difficult down 6, not to try to do anything too much. You want to get up and you want to hit a double, and you want the next guy to get up and hit a double and get back in the game. So, you know, hats off to their approach. They stuck with it, and we hit a lot of balls backside. We were really well with runners in scoring position. I don't know exactly what I think we batted above 300 as a team this week. And, you know, all around it was good baseball. And Tishner, we threw him twice. We threw him in Tuesday. He got 3 outs. I'm kind of prepping him to try to get 3 to 6 outs. Like, here's the ball, tough situation, go get us outs. Here's the ball. And so that's why we threw him in Oakdale. I wanted him to get a little bullpen session in case we needed him later in the week, and we did. Rob comes out, and he doesn't have his best stuff. And you know, we got a pretty close locker room, and so the guy's going to rally behind him. And J.D. came in and threw his tail off. He threw 5 scoreless.
Now, Coach, he didn't have his stuff, but I said on the broadcast, that strike zone, it wasn't a 16-inch Dixie plate. It was a 10-inch.
That's right.
I mean,
and that umpire didn't have the top of the zone was at the bottom of the waist. You know, so nothing. He didn't get that high strike, and he got frustrated, and you could tell it, and I could tell it, and you know, we're gonna get back on the mound this week with Rob and work with him and get all those kinks out. But JD comes in and throws 5 scoreless, and then there you go. You know, 6 outs. Tishner, go get us 6 outs. And you know, he ended up giving a run up in the 6, but the guys rallied behind him. And I said, look, so when the guys come off the field, we're down 1 in the 6. I said, hey, look, we still got 2 at-bats. We got 6 outs. So quit pressing. They're pressing right now because they're ahead. They have to make the play.
Right.
And, you know, Cutter does a great job. He gets the leadoff guy on. And then
I'm glad you brought him up, because I was going to bring him up. And you talked about him in the postgame interview with Danny. And so talk about what you worked with him and that situation and what he did that night that really you guys had worked on with him.
So he's balled in. You know, hats off to Cutter, because he has balled in on whatever I got to do to help the team out. And, you know, with his speed and he's actually a very good drag bunter, and we've worked on it. Last week he probably bunted 75 balls. You know, it's something that he bought into and really wanted to master his craft at that. And he had the opportunity to do it, and he did it twice that night. And they were both huge for us. So it's just, you know, these guys are team players, and that's what we preach and day in, day out. And, you know, they're buying into it, and whatever can help the team win, that's what they want to do. So I was really proud of them last week, because are we where I want us to be? No. But we grow and we get better at something each and every day. And as a coach, that's all you can ask for.
So on a Vols 7th run, okay, this situation, you know, going to turn a double play, obviously, you know, gets past the first baseman. Perez there to get it.
Yep.
Okay. whenever after the play's over, you were talking, and I don't think the umpire quite understood what you were asking.
No, he didn't. And honestly, I was just trying to buy a call at the time.
We went back and watched, but you were looking for interference, right?
I was.
Okay, that's what we were thinking.
It was a tight moment, and he threw it arm side high, and
right.
usually that's the cause of interference. That's because of interference, and so I just try to get out there and buy a call.
I will say the kid ended up sliding, but he slid after the ball was gone.
He did.
I do know that Nico was probably enough to the side, but I was just curious on that. I just wanted to. We thought that was the case, but Danny thought that at first you may have been thinking that it went into. It might have made it into the dugout, and Pear had to dig it out of there.
That's right. Well, no, and on a two-man crew, that's the umpires that behind the plate's call, because that guy has to follow the ball and can't see anything. The guy from second sliding in, so that's really a home plate umpire's call, and the umpire in the field really didn't know what I was asking. He was confused. He said, but he did apologize. He said, Coach, I missed it completely. I turned my head too fast, and if there was interference, I really apologize. I said, look, man, I was just trying to buy a call, honestly. So
I get it. No worries.
Okay, just one of those coaching tricks.
Okay, so bottom of the sixth. We go down, 7-6. We'll fight back, and get tied 7-7. Go down 7-6 at the top of the sixth. So bottom of the sixth, come out and like I said, really get those two runs. Yeah. And
we were at a good spot in our lineup. We were 9-1-2.
Yes.
And the top 5 hitters in the lineup have been on fire, the last week or two. And so it was a great spot to be in. It was a great spot. Cutter drag bunch gets on. Swipe second base. Reeves walks. Can't remember. He got on first.
Yes.
And then walks, and then Parra hits a ball up the middle. Well, actually, they were second and third, so he might have got a hit.
I think what happened. He got the single that was coming straight to us. Okay.
Yes.
And because you didn't know exactly if Cutter waited, to let it get through.
Yes.
So it was first and second. Okay, if I'm not mistaken. And then
it was first and third, and then we stole Reeves.
That's right.
Reeves took second, and then they brought the infield in to try to cut the run. And Parra has a clutch hit straight up the middle that scores with both.
What an at bat! I mean, that was a great at bat too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, fouled 3 or 4 off, and really worked 2 strikes, and really for him that was a great at bat to really battle in there.
And we've been working on the past 2 weeks. Hey, hit the ball on the ground up the middle. With runners, at third base, less than 2 outs, and just so happened they brought the infield in, so that kind of takes a little bit of that, hit it up the middle, hit it to shorter second, out of the play, and so he battled hard that at bat and ended up barreling one up the middle and scored them both. So exciting.
Yeah, and of course then Tishner comes out, and they did get and look that Goche, that catcher.
Yeah.
He's a ball player.
Yes, he is.
And of course you get the 2 outs, and then he gets on base, and then we end up, then James ends up closing the door there, and we had a very animated strikeout call by the umpire.
His mask flies off and everything.
I wanted Doug to post that one, but I said, that might not make the highlight reel, but no, just to see, like I said, you go on the road Tuesday, come back home. Now you're 2-0, 3-game win streak. You had Grant. Last week, which we had talked about last Friday, so which go and they go on and compete and win a game, which helps you as well.
Yep.
You all now are 16 in the power ratings, and I know that's not a big thing right now, but this keeps going along.
Yeah, I think we started off. We were last week we were 22, and now we're 16. So scratch a few, put a little win streak together, and you never know what'll happen.
Yeah, and if you guys aren't familiar with the power ratings out there, I mean, when you beat teams that have, wins and that just helps you. And the people that you beat, even people you lose to, you want them to continue to go on and win, because every win they have stacks into your power points.
That's exactly right.
Well, Coach, anything from this past week that you want to point out that we haven't covered?
No. I mean, Procel got his first start, and it was a district start on the road, so that's kind of a it can be a nerve-wracking situation, and I thought he handled it really well, along with everybody else. We went to a place where we know. No disrespect to Oakdale by no means, but we know the field's not in the greatest shape, and the lights aren't very good, so we moved that to the day of, we moved it to a 4 o'clock start
Okay.
instead of a 6 o'clock start. So, we dealt with a little adversity and this and that. And I thought the boys responded really well.
Yeah, so it was a good week for your Eagles. Like I said, 2-0 in district now, improved to 5-7 overall going into this week. When we come back, we're going to take our first break of the baseball segment, baseball side of this. When we come back, we're going to have our player segment. You're going to meet a couple of the players. So you're watching Around the Diamond with Turney and Marks on 446 Sports.
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier, transactions are getting safer, and you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to, made easier to use, anywhere, anytime, and more secure than ever. Simple, seamless, safe. Download our mobile app today.
In Central Louisiana, you might see me at the ballparks or soccer fields, or we might cross paths at the grocery store. I'm your local Farm Bureau insurance agent, your local expert when it comes to protecting what you love and depend on. I'm Jason Hawk. Learn more about how Farm Bureau Insurance can save you time and money. So talk to Hawk at 318-791-HAWK and let me help you protect your biggest investments. Real service, real people. Farm Bureau Insurance.
At Wallace Eye Associates, right now is the best time to have your cataracts removed. A new year means a new deductible, so if you're just not seeing as well as you used to, schedule your cataract evaluation today. It's fully covered by all medical insurances, including Medicare. You never need a referral at Wallace Eye Associates, and our method of next-generation cataract care is the most affordable in the state. There's only one team, one focus, your vision. Wallace Eye Associates.
And welcome back to Alexandria, Louisiana. Buffalo Wild Wings, now our player segment. So from left to right here on the table, introduce yourself and your classification. What grade are you in?
Austin Para and freshman.
And what position do you play?
Catcher.
Catcher?
Reese Scroggs. I play shortstop, and I'm a sophomore.
Sophomore, so freshman and sophomore. All right, so we like to break the ice up here. Of course, Coach Danny's not here tonight. He's taking the evening off, a little relaxing. He's had a rough week, but so favorite food, not place, because we don't want to get in trouble. But favorite food, Austin?
Probably like shrimp fettuccine.
Shrimp fettuccine. Okay, all right, that's a good deal. Good deal.
I'm gonna have to go steak.
Steak. Okay. Gotcha. What about the sides?
French fries.
French fries. Okay. No sweet potato. No loaded baked potato. Nothing like that.
Not usually.
Not usually.
French
Okay.
fries.
French fries. Okay. That's what being young's about. Whenever you get my age, it's a steak and you gotta get broccoli, or you gotta get a salad or something. You can't just get a good old steak and potatoes. So favorite baseball movie, Austin?
Probably Major League.
Major League. Okay.
I'm about to go Sand-A-Lot.
Sand-A-Lot. Okay. All right. Favorite character on Sand-A-Lot?
I forget his name, but I have to go the catcher.
The catcher, yes, that's what I'm talking. The Great Bambino, Bambino. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's my favorite as well. We had somebody on last week that liked Squints, who, I think it was because of the pool scene, where, you know what I'm saying. But so, all right, serious now stuff. Okay. Whenever, so far, I know you're a freshman, but favorite moment so far in your baseball career at Menard? Or wait, did you play any other sport?
Yes, sir. I played football.
It could be that so far. Favorite moment could be in football or in baseball. Favorite sports moment now at Menard for you?
Probably last week when I hit the go-ahead single to score 2 runs.
Big at bat, man. We just talked about that with Coach Jordan. Big at bat. So fouled a few off and then went back up the middle. What about you, Reeves?
I'm going to have to go last year whenever we beat Dunham to go to Sulphur.
Okay, that was a good series. That was a very good series. Enjoyed that. I tell you what, they had a very good pitcher, and when y'all got to him on Thursday, then I'm not going to say Friday was a cakewalk, but that really did make a big difference. So you've been to Sulphur. You haven't yet, obviously. Sulphur, give up 3 hits, 1 run, and you lose 1-0 in a high school baseball game. What do you have? What's a memory from that going forward? That way, if you're there this year or going forward, what's something you learned from that?
I think we just need to think the moment's not too big and just take things slow. I feel like last year the game was just sped up and they were winning the whole time, and we just didn't slow it down at all.
Okay, so it was just a constant thing. Okay, well that's I'm glad you brought that up. Okay, as a freshman, of course, I know you play a lot of baseball. I know you do a lot of travel and everything.
Yes, sir.
Is there a moment so far this year to where you finally saw something that's like, okay, the game is finally slowed down? Because it was the game at first, and like I said, I don't know if it's the first time you saw somebody that was throwing in the high 80s, or the first curveball you saw that really impressed you, or catching, the moment or the pressure that is the game starting to slow down for you?
Yes, sir. It's just stay more relaxed and just play baseball.
So you're not pressing, it's not one of those things to where you're overly concerned. Of course, I know you played that whole series at Ash, against Ash.
Yes,
okay,
sir.
I know you pitched some too, but we talked about that on that Sunday after the show, how tiring that was behind the plate. What about you, Reed? When was the moment? Is there a moment you can remember now that you've done this for a few years? Is there a moment that's just finally you kind of went, okay, I see it? And we know that you don't make every play, you don't hit every pit, but was there a moment to where it was just like, man, now I see what they were talking about, what Coach Jordan or Coach Turney in the past, what they were talking about the fastball. You can finally start seeing stuff now.
I think definitely after the St. Mary's game, it was our first game. And, I was a little nervous at first. And then once it was over, everything just was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. And, just easier on for the rest of the season.
Yeah, and it's neat because we were talking about that earlier off camera, how a lot of times they talk about with quarterbacks and how each level you change. The quarterback, okay, when their first game as a rookie, they throw more interceptions because the game's just faster. And baseball is very similar to that. The ball's hit harder at this age. The pitchers are usually, not all of them, but the pitchers are usually faster. The breaking ball's usually better, and the ball coming off the bat is usually a lot faster in the field. So yeah, what about whenever we talked about, and this is one of Coach Danny's favorite ones, okay, the best dancer on the team?
Probably Peyton Purcell.
Peyton? Oh, we got a new vote. So people catching up. What about?
I'd say Cade.
Cade. That's what Cade said Lane.
Yeah.
So, and I think what we're figuring out is I think it's the guys that really don't have a problem just being themselves. You two don't seem like the guys that just go out there. I'm not saying you won't, but you guys just don't seem like the two guys that just get out there and just cut up, no matter who's watching. But I could see Peyton. Peyton last week, I said, or Coach Danny asked him, what's your approach at the plate? See ball, hit ball. I mean, you're expecting, hey, let it get here, let it get there, but that's good. And of course, we all know Lane's confidence is through the roof, and that's a good thing too, especially when you're a baseball player. Okay, is there anything that's going into district, or since you've been in a week's worth of district, is anything different from your first half of your series to the second half so far?
Not really.
No.
Just we still need to compete and give it everything we got.
So
make it work.
It's just the next level. There's just the next game.
Yes, sir.
Reeves, anything?
I think since district started, we've kind of slowed things down more and been more confident. And ever since these 2 wins, I think we're just going to keep it rolling.
Of course, we do know that this year, if you guys don't know at home, this year the district is different. Okay, last year you had Glenmore, Rapides, Rose Pine, if I'm not mistaken. This year now, still Rapides is in there, but it's Rapides, Port Barry, which is one that we haven't played. Of course, Oakdale was in last year, but Oakdale and Kenner's a new one. And don't want to bring up Coach Drew, but we're going to see him Tuesday night, aren't we?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So that'll be a good motivation for you guys and for him. And I'm gonna be looking on Game Changer and keeping updates with it as much as I can. And wish you guys the best of luck. It wasn't so bad, was it, guys?
No, sir.
So good job. Appreciate you all. We're going to go ahead and take a break, and when we come back, we'll have Coach Jordan, and then we're going to bring on our BU Designs Player of the Week. So you're watching Around the Diamond with Turney and Marks on 446 Sports.
Check out some of our recent work at the Panthers Stadium. In addition to custom signs and banners, we also handle custom trophies, custom awards, custom vehicle wraps, and more. Give us a call. We handle projects large and small.
Wherever you are, you're there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks right from your phone, day or night, wherever you are or whatever you're doing. Download our mobile app today.
Are home problems turning your life upside down? Trust Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing to save the day. From keeping you comfortable to plumbing repairs and even generators, we do it all. Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, your one-stop solution for AC, plumbing, and generators. If you need us to save the day for you, call Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing or visit us online at southernairnow.com.
And welcome back here to Buffalo Wild Wings in Alexandria, Louisiana. And this is usually our segment where we talk to Coach Jordan about what's happening this next week and give our BU Designs Player of the Week. But we changed it up this time, JD. We want your Final Four picks. March Madness.
I don't watch basketball.
No worries.
I have no idea.
That's the Doug Gann in me. Believe me, I don't know who's in there right now either. So I just figured we'd kind of break the ice. But yes, Coach, JD Shelton is our BU Designs Player of the Week for this week. Congratulations, young man.
Thank you.
Good job. Big crowd we have here tonight. So came in and pitched the Bulls game and really slammed the door on them, and also had a great night at the plate on Tuesday night. You know, for us versus Oakdale. So talk a second about this young man.
Yeah. So for the week, he was 4 for 7 with 3 RBIs, batted .557, and although he doesn't have anything to show for his outing on Thursday night, but he came in a tough spot, which he's been there before. You know, bases loaded, no outs this time. And you know, like I said, he doesn't get to win or anything for that, but he threw 5 complete, gave up 0 runs, and we've prepped him. You know, his short career at Menard so far, a little bit his freshman year and a little bit this year. We prepped him for those tight moments, and you know, JD's a guy that you know what you're going to get when he comes on the mound. He's going to give you strikes. He's going to be consistent. He's going to give you a chance. You know, like you and I talked earlier, if you make plays behind him and pitchers throw strikes, then you're going to be in 95% of the ball games, and that's what you get with JD. So he's a hard worker. You know what you're going to get on the mound from him, and you know, one of the reasons why we put him in those tight situations early to prep him for these moments. So.
And like you said, on the stat sheet, it doesn't have the W, but hey, if you have any questions, just go back and watch the broadcast on 446 Sports for that Vols game and see how well he did. Really came in and calmed everything down. So,
hold on.
I'm sorry.
Were you nervous the other night when I come got you?
No.
See? Not at all. See, he's been in that moment before, so.
Yeah, you had a few innings last year.
Yes, sir.
Correct. Yeah, I remember that. So one of maybe 3 that you had coming back that really either had played between Reeves, him, Rob, and and Tishner had a little bit last year. So question for you: whenever you are on the mound compared to playing left field or playing in the field, at your batting approach. I mean, I know. Don't get me wrong. I know anytime you're up there, you want to hit.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a little different? I'm not saying you changed but is the concentration a little bit harder when you're pitching compared to when you're playing in the field?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. And that makes sense. To me, it makes sense, because you have a lot going on. You're thinking about what's happening, and then you come up. And, of course, I know you want to help yourself as well on, by scoring runs and all that. But, a lot of pitchers don't even, hit anymore these days. They want to pitch only, and be DH for. So JD, your approach whenever you come in, I know the situation's different. I mean, you had bases loaded, so I know that's always different. But
yes, sir.
How is that different coming in than the start? Have you started games as well?
Yes, sir.
How is it, starting compared to?
I really feel like I prefer to come in rather than start. Like when I have pressure, I feel like I do better than when I start a game.
Well, and think about it as well, and maybe I'm wrong, but you see what's happening.
Yes, sir.
You see what's happening. But whenever you're the starter and you're throwing the first pitch, you don't quite know how the game, and even if it's going bad, you know what's happening. If it's going great, you know what's happening. So I get that. That's a good thing.
And he's been in those roles. He's been in those situations in the past, and I think that's why he enjoys getting in them. He's a competitor at heart, and so he likes coming in a tough situation, which I can attest to that. So,
all right. So Doug on the softball side, he threw down the gauntlet of singing, and your girlfriend sung on the last show. Any song?
No, I'm not a singer.
I get it. I mean, of course, that's 3, Coach. I mean, that's 3 that have just sold us out. Between.
We're going to have to do the dance competition.
I think so. I think the dance I think we're all about the dance competition.
Who'd you vote for?
Lane.
See, he's a Lane Evans guy.
I think, we got a pro sale today, Coach.
Oh.
Yes, we got a pro sale. Of course, it was from another freshman.
Okay.
Maybe he hasn't seen Lane dance. I mean, that could be the case. But, all right, Coach, before we talk about this week, what's this mannequin thing? I mean,
you don't remember her from Sulphur, Sheila Faye?
Where did it come from? Where did it come from? How did that? I mean, is that like the rally possum?
I think Buck Evans has had that thing for like 20 years, and we tried to get a little extra out of it last year, and try to bring home a title while we were in Sulphur, but she failed us then. And she came the other night and gave up 6 runs in the first and failed us again.
Okay.
I'm gonna either have to charge Sheila Faye to get in the game, or we're gonna have to find her another spot.
I tell you, that line. Of course, she made up the lineup card, so we'll definitely blame her for the start.
That's right.
But no, let's talk about this week. And JD, you can stay here since we have a few more minutes if you don't mind. But let's talk about this week. We, start at Kinder.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And
so this week is probably our biggest week of the season so far, right? So we have 3 district games left, and we got 2 of them this week, and they're both on the road.
Yeah.
So we got Kinder, which is when I was going to school and when I was playing high school ball at Menard. We beat Kinder my senior year, the year we won state, in the quarterfinals.
Okay.
And a great friend of mine who is now the AD and the head football coach is Justin Reed. Justin Reed threw that game. So Kinder was in our district back then. We would always go rivalries and this and that. And so it's a big game for Menard, which I know it is for Kinder as well. We're both undefeated in district. We're the only 2 undefeated teams in district. And, Coach Drew Scully's over there as an assistant over there, and he was here last year. So
that change-up signals everything.
It changes up everything. Kinder football beat us this year, so a lot of guys are a little sour about that and kind of want to get back at it. So huge game, especially being on the road and not in our backyard. So I'm going to challenge the guys tomorrow at practice. We're going to see how it goes, and hopefully, we'll be ready for Kinder. I think it's going to be a really good ball game, but it's not going to be an easy one. It's going to be a battle from the first pitch to the last pitch. It's going to be a dogfight.
6 o'clock?
6 o'clock at Kinder.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to do a JV first at 4, and then we'll go varsity at 6 o'clock on Tuesday. And then Thursday, we got Rapides, a crosstown rivalry, which the last 2 years Rapides wasn't in our district, but the 4 years prior that I've coached at Menard, Rapides already been in our district. So
that's right. They played with Grace. Yeah, that's right. Okay.
And so that's a familiar opponent. And then after that, Friday, we have Glenmora at home, which is going to be a tough game. They got a new coach over there. They're doing some good things over there. They were in our district last year, so it's 3 familiar faces, but it's 3 really, really big games. And what I've told the guys so far, that every game from here on out is a little bigger. And the most important one is the one that's right in front of you. So we're going to be prepared for Tuesday night, and hopefully we give everybody a good show.
Now, we're not going to jump ahead to Friday because we want, like I said, we want to focus on Kinder. But our next broadcast will be Friday at home at 6 o'clock. And like I said, it'll be the Glenmora Wildcats, which last year, Coach, was a one-run game.
It was a one-run game.
That was a tight game. So
at home, too.
At home, yes,
so,
it was.
Yep.
Matter of fact, we had a replay. We had a couple of pictures or photographs of the play that I think it was Hilton that slid under the tag. And,
we stole home and won that game.
Look, I've got a coworker that's a family friends of ours, and their son plays there, and we had to make sure that we verified that with photographs to them, but no. So like I said, Tuesday night at Kinder on the road, then Thursday night at Rapides. Neither one of them were a long drive, so please get out there and support your Eagles. And like I said, we try to continue to get to 3-0 in district, and of course we'll talk next week about the potential district tournament that's going to be that first weekend in April. But anything you want to add for this week, Coach?
No, I'm good. Come out and support us. These guys are battling hard. They're working hard. They're getting better every day, and it's been a blessing to coach them.
Last chance to sing.
I'm good.
No.
Come on, JD.
Just want to say another congratulations to our BU Design Player of the Week, JD Shelton. Well deserved. Good job there. So for Chuck Perkins, for Doug Gann, who has already left to go on another interview, JD Shelton, Coach Jordan Marks, I'm Nick Magnano. Thank you all. May the Lord bless you.